right, today we are going to be weaving on a rug canvas. We're going to follow these guidelines. We're going to skip one row at the top and bottom. We're going to use a ruler to measure and cut the correct length of yarn that we'll need. We're going to thread the needle by looping, pinching, and wiggling it into the eye of the needle. We're going to use the over one, under one motion. Each row is going to be opposite, and we're going to be looking for that brick pattern. So the first thing we need to do is get our yarn ready for our rug net. Now our rug canvas is about 6 inches. Now we want our yarn to be at least double that plus some, so we have some hanging off the edges too. So I'm going to cut it at about 16. So I'm going to take the end of it, I'm going to line it up with the 16 on my ruler, making sure that I have, the inch side. And then I'll take my scissors and I'm just going to cut it once, right at the end of the ruler. Now that I have the right length, I'm going to thread my needle. Now, fuzzy tongues are no fun. Never lick the end of your yarn. What you're going to do is you're going to loop it. You're going to pinch it really, really close to the top. You can barely see it peeking out there. Then I'm going to take my needle. The opening is called the eye of the needle. I'm going to line that up with the yarn that I'm pinching, and I'm going to wiggle or use a sawing motion to get that yarn coming through. Make sure that all the little stringies are coming through before you pull it. Now, you want to pull that loop until, this is what I call the tail, pops out. So then you can hang your needle like a necklace, matching up the ends, pull the needle to the middle, and now you'll have 2 even strings on either side, and that'll hold it in. We're going to weave both of these through at the same time. Now, with my rug canvas, I want to skip one row. This is because sometimes the top string kind of falls off. So we're going to start one below here. And I'm going to start by doing an over one and under one motion. So I'm going to go over and then under, over, under, over, under. Now notice I can get a couple on here until I pull my needle through. So I'm going to pull it slow so I know that it's not getting tangled. And I want to leave a little tail on the end. I don't want to pull it so hard that it pulls all the way through. Now I'm going to continue. Now make sure that you are keeping your pattern. So I just went under one, now I need to go over one. So over one, under one, over one, under one, over one, under one. Pull. Kind of a back and forth motion. And pull. So now that my needle's on the other side, I want to make sure that I pull, not so much that these tails come out, but I want enough on this side so this side doesn't come out too. Now to get my needle off, I am not going to cut through both pieces of yarn. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the tip of my scissors, I'm going to put it in that loop, and I'm going to cut through just one piece of yarn. That way you won't have any scraps and you'll get your needle off here. Now I want to do my next one. I'm going to use purple this time. I need the same amount, so I'll go with 16 inches again. Snip it at the end of the ruler. I'm going to loop, pinch, and yarn into the eye, make sure all those stringers are coming through, then pull, 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 pull till the tail pops out. Hang it like a necklace so you know they're even. Pull the needle to the middle, and now I'm ready to go. Now the most important thing when weaving is that you want every row to be opposite. So we're looking at this first line right here. I went over it with my blue. So now with my purple, I need to go under it. So I'm going to come up through that first hole. And then over, under, under, over, under. Pull. Remember, leave some of that tail, don't pull too hard. Now I want to check right away before I keep going and make sure that it's opposite. So I notice that this white line cannot continue. So it kind of looks like brick shapes or little rectangles. Now I can continue. I just went under, so I want to go over, under, over, under, over, under, and pull, over, under, over, and pull. Now, before I cut my needle off, it's very important that I go back and check that everything is opposite of the blue and that I use my over-under pattern. So I'll actually go back and I'll look and I'll go, okay, I have my brick pattern that I was looking for. So now I know that I did it correctly. So now I'm going to cut the needle off, put it through the loop, cut, and now I can continue on my third row.